Hey guys, welcome back to CUDA Cave. We're going to work on something a little different today. We're going to let the CUDA sit for a few hours here, and we'll give you a little bit of a profile as to what the next project is. We're going to work on an '07 Toyota Tundra. A friend of mine, Harold, from the same town I'm in, he's commissioned me to do some work for him. So we'll show you the truck, we'll show you what we're going to do, and we'll go from there. All right guys, so I want to introduce you to Harold. This is the owner of the pickup. We're going to get some work done on this. So here we go. We got some box sides. We're going to change out those box sides right from the top of the rail all the way down the wheel well. First thing we need to do, and Harold is pushing me on this one, he wants to get this one done. We're going to say a cat ran into his truck, and we're going to redo this fender. So fender's sitting here in the box. We'll get some paint, we'll scuff that up, give it a nice prime. We'll get her coated. And like I was saying, we got to do the box sides on this. But first, we need to take out that fifth wheel so that we can actually eventually get the box off of this, and then we'll start working on it. All right, guys. So we'll get this ball out of the way. We'll pull this out of placement, and then we got to take these rails out of here. So what I've done underneath, there's kind of an L bracket that goes in. So what I've done is put a pair of vice grips on the front bolt. So I'll be back and forth. We'll loosen that off. We'll get these rails out of here, and then Harold can rock and roll and sell this. Then we'll go from there. All right, guys, so after putting the impact on this, they're not moving. So we'll just grind the tops off of these, we'll pull them rails out, and we'll be good to go. So guys, here we are with Harold's pickup. We took the box off. I'm sorry I didn't video all this, but it's just your standard 6 bolts, pull the box off. So what we've been doing is peeling off the box skins, the box sides. So as you can see, it's in pretty tough shape here. This one's the passenger side. There's the driver's side. So what I did here was take this, and I just took a grinder and I ground out all the spot welds, and this just popped up. It's all along the front of the box side right here, all along the top, along the rail, and then we got into the back here. So there's a few spot welds on this Toyota Tundra, but nothing we couldn't grind out and pop that skin off. So what I've done in the meantime is I actually installed the driver's side skin. Everything's all welded back in. It's true, it's plumb. So I just wanted to cover up some of these welds. I just threw a little bit of spot putty in there. This is going to be covered up with the plastic. So that plastic rail right here, that'll pop on the top. Those won't be seen. The only welds that might be seen are the ones that are in behind the cab. So this is the front of the box that sits behind the cab. So we'll take you around to the passenger side here. I'll show you a little bit more. So there's the new skin all installed. So I'm just in the process of continuing to remove this box side. So we got a little bit of a corner here. I got to whittle that out. Funny thing with these is that it's sandwiched in between. So this little ear here, there's a piece that drops in. So there's a couple spot welds I got to drill out on the other side. Same thing with down in this corner. There's another one down in here that I gotta kind of take that out nice and gingerly, that way we don't disturb the box at all. So in here, and we'll clean this up a little bit, give a little coat of primer and maybe some Line-X. We'll see where things take us. But you can see where the spot welds were. So I didn't get into the material of the box itself, just the box side. So some of these spot welds will just grind that down, make this clean, good penetration for a weld. Then we'll just take a little walk around in here. That way you can see what processes that I've been doing here. For the most part, the box is in pretty good shape. We opted to change the whole skin on this because labor-wise it would have been the same had I cut this out, put a patch in, welded in, did the filler straight, everything else. We had to paint it anyways, so taking off the box side skin just made a whole lot more sense. Well, I'll get set up here and we'll show you the process of cleaning that up, and we'll weld in a skin. Alright guys, so here we are. We got all the spot welds ground down. We got the new panel front and back. We cleaned the primer, the factory primer off of this, all the way down the rail. On the back side we ground as well, so we get the burr from the drill holes, because I'm going to spot weld these with my MIG welder. So we need good clean surface so we can weld to. Got everything aligned in here, started clamping down at the front, and as we work our way back, we'll clamp down further and further. So we close the tailgate here, make sure everything lines up nice, so all the lines are where they're supposed to be. Did a little bit of a paint on the inside just to seal everything. So what we'll do now, we'll get the welder all set up, and we'll buzz in all these little holes that we drilled. That'll get the skin or panel. We'll get that all mounted in, and then we can do the same thing that we did on the other side. Alright guys, now that I'm all outfitted here with my PPE, I got helmet, gloves. It's just little plug welds here, so we'll just carry on. We'll get this panel welded in. Alright, so I'm going to reposition all my clamps here, move down. I'll just finish welding this in, we'll show you what we did. Alright guys, so here's the top rail all welded in. Just a bunch of plug welds. I think it was a 3/8 drill bit that I drilled the holes. That way we can get good penetration in here. Oh, look at that weld. there's some welder form. Okay, so what we'll do next, we'll relocate our ground clamp. We've got 2 here, 2 here, 2 and 2. We'll weld those in. Inside the tailgate, there's a couple little spots I got to plug weld as well. I've got the front clamped in, measured and true. We'll plug weld all those in. Then I'll use my spot welder down here because I can reach. And we'll spot weld that together. Okay, this is where we're at, guys. All right, guys, so we got everything spot welded in with a MIG welder, as you can see right up in here. Everything's all tacked in. So the last spot that we got to do, there's one here, one on the back. So I'm going to grab my spot welder. It's a Princess Auto from my American friends, that's Harbor Freight. It's a great little 110 spot welder. We'll just get this into place so we can get our spot welder in a better position. We'll bring this up in here. And it's just a matter of taking that, clamp it where we want the spot, and hit the switch. It would help if I plugged that in. Just a minute. All right, now that we're plugged in, we'll get this back up into place, crimp, and hit the switch. Takes a little bit of moving around. You'll hear the buzz and a red glow in there. And there's our spot weld. So now that that's held, we can take that off and hit the next spot. So there's our 2 spot welds in here. I'll get you a little bit closer, you can see. 1, 2, and it's held in place. All right, guys, so now that we got this all welded in, we got down the front here, spot welded, across the top, we got it all welded in the back, the spot weld that's needed at the back. So what we got to do now is just grind down these welds that are on the top here. So we'll grind them down, throw some spot putty on there. That way we know that it's all sealed. And then we're on to sanding, paint, finish, install. So I'll go ahead and we'll grind down these welds. We'll make everything look real sharp, nice. Harold will be happy. A little bit of glazing putty on each one of the welds just to seal it in. Everything lines up very nicely. So now what we got to do, I got to pull this top rail off of this, get this plastic off, because we got to do a little bit of work on the bottom side of the tailgate where a little bit of rust is there. Pull all these emblems off. And then we get into sanding. And more sanding, and sanding, and more sanding. Then we'll put a coat of primer on, paint, and clear. So we're going to let this glaze and putty dry up here. The next segment, I'll show you, we're going to do the sanding on this. We'll do a little bit of prime coat. I got some work to do on the inside of the inner fender box side, inner box side on the driver's side. So we'll get that all taken care of. We'll get everything cleaned up, and then hopefully we'll be ready for primer and paint. I'm looking forward to seeing this back on the truck, get everything cleared, everything that needs to be done on it. Till then, like, subscribe, like my channel, leave your comments. Love to hear your comments. Till then, guys, take care.